Hi everyone. We'll begin right on the hour. While you guys settle in, let us know where you're joining from and your role in the chat. We would love to hear from you. Well, for those who are new here, And Academy is an online design school for upskilling focused on turning beginners and professionals into job-ready designers. We run part-time and full-time courses in UI UX design, graphic design, and interior design, with pathways running up to roughly 5 months to 14 months, depending on where you want to start. We have multiple full-time and part-time courses for graphic design, interior design, and UI UX design. Here is why people choose And Academy. We blend the convenience of online with the effectiveness of offline education. You get that studio energy, collaborating, critiquing, sharing ideas, but without needing to commute or relocate. First, our design pedigree. We are niche backed by IIED, one of India's leading design institutes, which has been in the design education industry for more than a decade now. That partnership gives us a strong academic foundation and a creative legacy, along with a strong network of design professionals in the industry. We are proud of that connection because it means our programs are built on the same principles of design thinking and rigorous studio learning that IID is known for. All our courses are industry relevant. You learn what design teams actually do in the field, not outdated theory or just the words and everything. Our learning and teaching is very project based. You learn how to apply every single design principle or theory you learn. And all of this project based learning also help you build your portfolios. Now, when someone mentions online education, the first image that comes to mind is a pre-recorded session, but our classes are live and interactive. You get in-time feedback from your mentors. You get to learn in time with your peers in the live and online interactive classes. You exchange ideas, get hands-on experience, and also learn to think like a designer. Our mentorship is also a key pillar. Our mentors are not just instructors or teachers in the field, but they have had work experience. They have gone through the journey of being a designer in this industry, and they teach what they have learned from real experience and not just theory. And when you're ready to take your next step, our career support team guides you at all times and all the way through building your portfolio, building your resumes, applying for new jobs, looking for new jobs, and all kinds of placement opportunities. We even offer job guarantees on our select programs. And this is how our journey has been throughout the years. We have built a community of 1,500 plus learners. We have 50 plus in industry expert mentors with us. We've built an Instagram community of 65,000 design enthusiasts sharing their inspirations and work with us. We've also built 200 plus industry connections and maintained a 4.6 Google rating in just 3 years. And we've helped transform over 500 careers. Moving on to why we're here today. Today's Kaleidoscopes is a series that we host where we invite design leaders and creative practitioners to lead masterclasses like this one. These sessions are designed to spark ideas, share real world insights, and show how design thinking can help your career and change your outlook and purview on things. Before we start, a few checks. You can use the chat box to engage and share your thoughts. We will have a dedicated question and answer sessions towards the end of the session. So drop your questions in the Q&A box and we'll take that up systematically. Today we have Bhavik Mehta with us. He's the founder and creative director of the Thinking Birds, a brand design studio that's shaped the identity of over 300 brands across India, US, and also the UAE. At Thinking Birds, Bhavik and his team help businesses find their authentic voice, from emerging startups to established names, with work that's thoughtful and full of purpose. What stands out most about Bhavik isn't just his creative direction, it's how he bridges strategy and storytelling, turning ideas into identities that truly last. In today's session, he's going to take us behind the scenes of how strong brands are built and not just seen. Well, welcome, Bhavik.
Hey, hi. I was just trying to understand how Zoom calls work.
Yeah, I
But
get.
I think I have a friend already, Jagrati Rajpal, who's saying hi. And hi, Jagrati. And I think we have spoken quite often on Instagram. So I
Yeah.
think I'm super excited. But at the same time, I'm a little nervous if I'm going to move up today. But anyways, I don't know how I want to, uh, basically, I don't want to jump directly onto what exactly we do at Thinking Birds and how I can help these guys, right? You mentioned specifically that there are three kinds of people that are graphic design guys, right? Second is people pursuing interiors, and third is UI UX, right? That's what you mentioned. So I want to combine all of it a little with a couple of projects so that it becomes easy for people to understand how concepts are driven. Okay, but before that, uh, can we just take a couple of questions, maybe on chat, or if they are allowed to speak. I don't know how this functions, but just to understand a little on the expectation front from this session, so that I can drive accordingly.
Yeah, sure. Please, guys, you are feel free to, leave your questions or whatever you want Bhavik to talk about in the Q&A box, and I will convey the questions to him.
Abhiraj has, how does branding differ from restaurants versus corporations? Okay, I think this I cannot answer because I'm not that smart. I know how to fool, I would say. So I think I somehow manage that. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Would really love to know how you manage people in your agency. Like, how do you ensure design and aesthetics are in line? Awesome. Okay. Take care. So I think I will answer all these questions one by one. Okay. And then last 15-20 minutes is what I want to drive through how it's done and what's the process like. Okay. So the first question which Adhiraj has, that how does the branding differ for restaurants versus corporations? See, I think I have a very little understanding onto the difference of it, right? But of course, everything is defined basis the brand positioning that one wants to be. Okay. Uh, now, say for example, even within the restaurant, right? There are certain set of formats in the restaurant industry. It's either a QSR, quick service restaurant, a cafe model, or a fine diner, or a lounge, right? So every format has a different experience. So you think through on what the experience you need to give, and basis that you define the identity. So this is the most simplest answer, be it corporate, right? Of course, a healthcare corporation wouldn't want to have a very funky branding. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. It's a serious business, right? It's wellness. So I think that's where you have to define how you want to drive the branding. That's one. I don't know if Adhiraj is satisfied, but if he has still more questions, follow-up questions to that, happy to answer. Second is, would really love to know how you manage people in your agency. Like, how do you ensure design and aesthetics are in line? So, okay. So the best part here of the process is that I am majorly the guy who's talking to the customer as a first line of action, just to understand the requirements, right? So there are a lot of brainstorming that is happening before sales, just to try and understand the customer's expectation. So while doing this process of understanding what the client wants versus what I can actually kill for them, right, is where I define the concept direction. So once the concept direction is clear, is when I brief that to the team with couple of references or maybe uh, some random shitty sketches because I'm not a good sketch guy. But uh, whatever tuta puta I can give and do a detailed 1 or 2 hour call to understand, to make my team understand what exactly is expected out of this project. And you have to actually dive deeper into what the background of the customer is, why they are opening up this, whether it's a restaurant or any sort of business, right? What's the motivation? Why they are actually getting into the line of business? So when you dive deeper with such conversations, more than the concept, the team also understands the seriousness of the project, and that's where I basically uh, draw the right processes to answer that. Okay, so design and aesthetics naturally follow because now you know what the customer is expecting. You know what I have pitched in during the sales. Sales is a very gimmicky process, right? At the end of the day, you are making someone feel motivated of how your brand is going to look like. So it's a very aspirational, or I would say, a creative sales process. So without design and aesthetics getting married, I think it wouldn't work. Okay, what's the biggest mistake brands make when they try to redesign or rebrand, or how one can prevent that? Okay, interesting question. So I'll tell you. I can give you a very beautiful example or two, maybe. Uh, First of all, so there was a UK-based, I would say UK returned Indian entrepreneur, correct? Fancy lifestyle he had seen. He wanted to get into hospitality and felt bagel is something that I want to introduce to India. Okay. Now, so it's a very bold step, by the way, that bagels people don't understand in India, right? And if you want to create something in hospitality, if it's not mass or mass premium, then I think you are making the biggest mistake because you are not going to get the right revenue on a per day basis that you are looking at, right? So this guy opened a table store and could not do business for almost 3 to 4 years. But the ego to run a business and call yourself an entrepreneur pushes you afar, right? So that is what this guy was doing, and eventually uh, suffered a lot of losses. So now, even if we rebrand such brand, right? I don't see there's an audience base or still awareness of what bagels are. And eventually, I'll tell you, he started using bagels not like bagels are supposed to be served, but now it became a burger brand with a bun with a hole. If that is making sense. So, and again, I don't work for bigger brands. I don't think they are the right TG I want to go after. I think there are a lot of norms, there are a lot of brand guidelines that you have to strictly follow, which I think restricts your creative freedom also. So I'm happy to work for smaller clients who are open to newer ideas, and that's what the TG is I'm looking after, right? So the biggest mistake to define per se is that if there is no purpose to rebrand, that's the key mistake that people do. That they do rebrand because they're bored of how they look now, but they don't want to achieve anything out of the rebranding. This is what I have known because working with the smaller brands. So I think that's where the mistake is. So moving to next, Ishika has, what advice would you give to a person wanting to get into branding from your design? Where should I start from? What focus should be? I think more than getting into designs, I would say you should learn the process of sales. How to sell your design is the key aspect, because most of the designers fail as a freelancer or running a small studio because they don't know how to sell. And when you don't know how to sell, is when you struggle understanding the customer's expectation. And when you fail understanding the customer's expectation, is when you fail in branding. So I think it's not a creative process that you get an idea and you want to do. It's not about how you feel of the brand. It's about how your customer feels of the brand. And always remember, you are not designing for your clients. You are designing for your client's customer. That's the catch. Okay. So how to start? I think you should start from selling your designs. I think that's the best process. Ananya, is there a lot of sound from my background, Mona?
No, no, your voice is quite clear.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Is this a session for shaping brands through design and just Q&A? Oh, I think Om is hurt. Om, the answer is this is not about Q&A, but I think it is about setting the expectations, because I just start blabbering about what I do. I think that will not help. But this is also giving me a structure of how my presentation should be. So now, earlier I was thinking of doing a presentation, but I think now I want to rather show 2 or 3 brandings. That's what I did. Okay, carry on if you are hurt. Okay, for everyone, for those pricing, like really confused. I understand it depends on the client requirement, but still, if we can discuss a little on pricing. Okay, interesting. See again, pricing. I think pricing is the last step. The first step is, whom do you want to cater? So if you know what your PG is, whom are you running after or want your customer base to be? Base is that you have to have your product first. And once you crack the product is when you have to crack the pricing. So that's the process. So say for example, if you want to go for uh, a segment like mm, burgers, right? Just to have the integrity and integrity. Okay, sorry. So there's a burger brand, right? So even for burgers, you see there's a 500 rupee burger with Jimmy's maybe, or for McD it is 125 or a 130 or a 150. So everything depends on the TG that you are going after. So a McD customer who is used to having a 99 rupee burger or a 149 or a 199, will they be okay having a 499 burger? So I'm saying the product category is same. But now it's up to you which TV you are looking after. Second, if you have defined the TV, then you look at the price point you want to play with. If you really want to have a burger which is 999 per se, then you have to add a lot of experience also, which I think no one is comfortable. Neither none of us are making so much money that we can have a 999 burger. Okay. Okay, I think we have some questions and Q&A box as well.
Yeah, let me read them out for you.
Yeah.
We have some questions. Yash is asking, in your opinion, what makes a brand timeless?
It's purely an experience here. I think branding is, see, branding has a lot of segmentations to be clear, that brand design is one, right? But I think if you want to make it stand out, if you want to make it timeless, I think experience is the key. I can share you one very interesting experience. So there was this uh, Bangalore-based two lady chefs uh, who run this kitchen called Navu, the Navu project, I think, where I had booked at least a week or 10 days prior, table for three. But again, I wanted to just have an idea of why there's so much craze and buzz around it, right? And it was a 2,500 rupee per person entry. And it was, by the way, a sit down. It was a dining experience, seven-course meal. Everything was peanut in terms of the size, right? But I think the kind of experimental menu that I got a chance to have, something like a poached pear, if you can just Google and see, it's all experience. I never had food like that. Not just in terms of how it looked or how it tasted, but also the way she was interacting and talking about the product, that how she innovated this. I think that's where the drama lies. Okay. But again, I would not call it drama. That's where I think I want to double down on. But if she continues to be that, I think it would be great.
Okay. We have
Okay.
another.
I
Yeah.
think we should okay, we can take two more and then
Okay.
I can jump on.
Okay, sure. Well, someone is asking, what advice would you give for a person wanting to get into branding from UI design? I think you have answered it.
Yeah, I have answered.
Yeah. There's another interesting one from
Manish.
Manish. Yes.
Yeah. Clients
I
ask for fast design delivery. Don't give enough time to follow the design process. Can you guide me? Okay. First of all, Manish, stop taking such clients. I think by taking such clients, you are devaluing your own worth, and also you are setting the wrong example for such clients that they can exploit you. So I think people who don't allow, see, I believe, by the way, in faster outputs because I always do a 22-day branding project. I don't go for a 23rd day. So you have to be fast. But that also depends on the kind of task you're getting from a client, right? If it's a packaging project, of course, you cannot pull it off within a few hours, right? And again, what is the purpose of uh, that packaging? Is it just for the sake of branding or it has a purpose? I'll show you a very interesting packaging, by the way, which I uh, made for a brand called Matra here in Nagpur, where I have actually, I would say it's an advanced version of what Starbucks does. So you'll always see Starbucks writes the name, right? Let me pull that off. This is the coffee cup. Yeah. Can you see the design? Let me show it to
Yes,
you like
I
this.
can see it.
So this is one side of the packaging. The packaging, this cup has three sides. So where there's a statement that is written, and in that statement, uh, there's a space that we have kept for the barista to write the customer's name. Okay. Anyways, can you see this? So it says, one day they will honestly say, so the moderator here is Ananya, right?
Yeah.
So we write Ananya there. So one day they will honestly say, Ananya fucking made it. Now this is, the purpose is Instagrammable. The purpose is to make the customer feel motivated and also maybe make their day today, right? So this is what we have done. And if you see, I have made the asterisk from Iki Matra in fucking.
Okay, I see it.
Okay. Also, the T has Eki Matra. in the logo itself. Okay, anyway, so what I'll do is I think I'll do three brandings. Okay, I'll present what we have done for three clients. One I will do for healthcare, one I will do for uh, mining, and the last one I'll do for hospitality. That's a cafe. Okay. So I think you'll get an idea of the range or the industries basically. Okay. So perfect. So I'll tell you about this client. So they are based out of Rochester. The name of the client is Travelier, and the name is not given by us. Uh, so before I jump on to what we did, I think I will help you understand what Travelier is. Okay. So Travelier is more of uh, an organization, a startup, which collaborates with uh, super specialty hospitals and take over the entire radiology as a department. And they create uh, strength for the traveling doctors. So in North America, there are regions, or maybe parts of America, there are regions where the climatical conditions are so bad that people don't listen. So people don't uh, stay in the particular regions, right? They travel, and of course, when they are traveling, they are looking for work. So they are not solving for all the traveling people. They are solving for only the radiologists, and that too who are into interventional radiology. So radiology, to make it simple for you, वो जो machine में हम जाते हैं, which is called CT scan, और हम बाहर आते हैं, so that's radiology as a department if you understand. And the new tech is that they do a small incision in your body, एक pipe जाता है और उससे diagnosis होता है. So they are just solving for interventional radiologists who are traveling and looking for work opportunities. So hence it is called travel year. Okay. Now, if you have understood, so travel year is basically, so is some drama I have added, which are in terms of pronunciation, goes well with the travel year because they solve for these three categories in terms of positioning. Healthcare, they position themselves as professional, expertise in terms of technology, and they're customer focused. So that's their positioning. So what I've done is I've taken a typical healthcare ka plus, created a travel swoosh, and combined it with the T, if you can see. So I just plus and swoosh ko combine karke I've created the T, and IR I have made italic. So that's the only simple stuff I have done. And why I've done this? Because I like a lot of character on the logo. Even if it's simple, minimalistic, you should always have a character in your logo. And this is how the logo looks. Okay. So I'll quickly jump on to a few stuff randomly. What should I show you? Okay. So this is their even good design because being the kind of startup they are into, they do a lot of travel. They do a lot of exports for healthcare, and this is a simple foldable, uh, even booth design for them, which is again we have used a mockup that was available online to give them an idea. So this is with respect to travel. So I don't know if you want to take questions here quickly, or maybe I can jump on to the next one. So for them, we have solved everything, by the way. It's from starting from their customer onboarding kit. So, for example, they have figured out a partnership with a big hospital or a healthcare institution. So there's a kit that goes as a welcome or onboarding kit. We have done their pitch deck designs. We have done their brochures. So there are everything that we have solved for them. So Ananya, I'm not sure if there are questions with respect to this specifically.
Um, there is one about if you created the typography for Traveler. If yes, what was your process?
No, I did not. So we did not create the typography. But yes, this is a good question, by the way. But I'll tell you the easiest way. Instead of creating a typography dedicated for a logo or a client, right? It's better take the logo and tweak the font a little and make it yours forever. Give it your touch. The way I played with the T is how you play. It's a logo that a font that we had. We tweaked the entire font. We made INR italic. So there's a lot of drama also, right? And always look for a character-driven font. So that's my suggestion because this is what I practice. Okay. So can I jump onto the next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's take a boring business then. Another boring business. And I'll tell you by the way, the boring businesses make the most amount of money. So look out for not restaurants and cafes. They don't but bloody pay at all. Okay. And then I'm sharing screen. Let me know. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see your screen.
Yes. So this client, see, we have what did we solve? So the entire identity, color, typography, movie patterns, elements. So the name of the client is Man Mining Infra Projects LLP. Okay. And this client wanted to change a lot of things, but I'll tell you that he was very emotional with the yellow, which he did not want to change. So we just changed the shade of yellow and added the blue, which was not with them earlier. Right? So it's a rebranding, basically. And what else did we do? Okay, so first of all, this is a mining client, right? They take a lot of tenders from Adanis and giants like them, and it's a subleased contract. So it's a huge company. So I'll tell you what I did. So we took the M of mining, man mining, sorry, their initial, and this is the process of mining basically. So mining starts with you go for exploration in the field, you discover where the produce can be found, you dig in where the produce is there, take the juice out and make it fertile again for the next lot or next generation to basically write the fruits out of it, right? So when you do this as a process, if you see the mining as a field, right, it looks like a mountain. And you'll see trucks going down, getting the produce out and coming out. So if you cut it vertically, it looks like this M. So that's how we got the M out. And they were very emotional of the font of Man, so that I did not change. But rest I changed. So now this is how the logo looks, and I'll quickly jump onto the application side of things. So this is how the application came out. This is the business cards and communication designs, brochures, container designs, site flags. On these site flags, we got the radium ones done so that it becomes easy for them to actually navigate at night. Then let me do some other projects. But before that, I think someone has questions here.
Well, we do have a few questions.
Yeah, then someone just see, I think there is honestly there's no guidance or guidelines basically that I follow for such niche brands. I think the honest approach is that I want to kill every single project conceptually. So I dive deeper onto how can I crack the essence of the brand in the branding that I'm creating of what they do. That's the next question. How do you simplify your thought process when you create impact via statement? But I think that's my muscle memory for the last 11 years because I think I know how to fool people and I use it to my advantage and create concepts. So I think I look at concepts as my escape to close the project fast because then see, I'll tell you, there are only two ways to do branding. Either it is conceptual or beautiful. So concept नहीं आ रहा है तो बस अच्छा बना दो, right? दिखने में अच्छा होना चाहिए. I think that's the better way. Okay, so I have, acha, okay, prolonged creative. See, creative block ka the only process that I have is to not work on that particular project for a few time. Just skip it. Jagrati, my best friend, has method. Okay, how do you decide the finances for a project? Let's consider failure. So I think I have the silliest answer to this. It is jaisa matha vaisa tika, right? And I felt that Dr. Ian was takla, तो मैंने पीछे तक के उनको टीका लगाया है. So I think that's the way. But to be very honest, if you want to have a constructive process to figure out the finances, the best way is to ask the customer itself that what they are comfortable paying or investing. And always define timeline of a process and get it sacrosanct by the client. That whatever I'm charging you is for these many days. If the project goes beyond that, you pay more. So I think that's the better way to actually define. And again, okay, if you want me to even dive a little deeper onto this, so there's cost plus margin as a process. So always remember that you should work for worst. Worst should be your 100% margin in design and branding. So for example, if the cost of designing for you is 10 rupee, you should charge 20. That's it. So Yash has, can you share one mistake you made early in your career, which taught you something important about design and branding? Oh, bapare.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
Bhavik, I'll just read out the question so everyone can get the context of what you're answering. Yash here is asking, can you share one mistake you made early in your career that taught you something important about design or branding?
I think again I will answer it very simply because I am not a design guy by the way. Okay. After 10th, I was into my polytechnic, I was doing chemical engineering. So I was just fascinated by the thought of creating identities, right? Because there were a couple of friends who were getting their business identities done from some of the other guys. And I was looped in every time for feedback because I think I had that natural sense, is what I figured out later. But I think when people are coming to you for feedback, I think it made a lot of sense that maybe I'm inclined towards this. And chemistry में मैं इतना अच्छा था कि chemical engineering में I failed in chemistry. So it's better that I move out of chemical engineering, right? So the only mistake I would say that I did was none. I think it went uh, with the flow, but something that I would have done better, I know, that is not working for peanuts. That if you can call it a mistake. So that was the mistake that I undervalued the kind of efforts we took and the kind of work we did. I think we undervalued ourselves too much. That's it. Hariharan. No, there's one more.
I have Romil. asking, when you are stuck on a key design decision, what is the single most effective, actionable step you take immediately to get unstuck? I think,
I think it's more like I take a lot of opinions. So by the way, I do random opinions. It's not just with my team. It can be my office boy also, or my nephew and niece at home. That I just go to them and just take opinions, that how they feel. So based on that, I ponder, maybe try and understand their perspective. But of course, do what I feel is right. Again, right for not me, not for my customer, but right for my customer's customer. That's the only thumb rule. Yeah. In your view, how is I sorry if you want to read out,
yeah.
Ananya.
In your view, how is AI influencing the process of brand design today? And what are some effective ways to thoughtfully integrate AI into brand creation workflow? Okay, that is a good question.
So I think, see, AI actively I'm using for a lot of communication stuff in terms of the presentation. Because there's of course a concept that you created. But to define it better, I think is where I'm using the AI actively. Second, there are a lot of design styles, right, that you do with in-store branding per se, right? Which maybe you don't have a talent to pull that kind of stuff out, right? Is where you can give a lot of references to AI, give some interesting prompts, and get the direction of the artwork that you want to create. So that is where I am also actively using, and I've used it for one of the projects recently. So of course, if you say how AI is influencing, more than that, I'm influencing AI in a better sense, giving them directions to get my project out. Okay, let's take one interesting project and wrap this up. I think I have 15 minutes more, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. But I want to understand, are they enjoying? Because these 29 guys, I don't know if they were here for this. So if you can just get a direction of how bad they feel after 45 minutes.
I think they are asking questions very actively, so I'm sure they are liking it. Yes, it's
Awesome.
going great. We are loving it.
No, no, ये तो मेरे friends हैं, I think. These are paid comments.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Chalo. Let me pull something off. I don't know. Are you here guys from Nagpur? Jagriti is, which I know. Okay. I'll quickly jump onto this. Okay. So there's this very OG legendary brand which is called Checkers. Just super. I had made a very interesting reel which went viral, and I think 29,000 guys shared the reel. You can go on my Instagram and check this. So these guys have three different outlets doing fabulous in terms of business. And just to give a small number out, they have per day on an average 2,000 tokens for just coffees, which is not a specialty coffee, but a traditional Nescafe coffee that they sell. So it's a humongous business that they do with the three outlets they have. And some 10 years back, I rebranded them to this with my little knowledge. And I think I was very proud then, but not now at all. So the kids of this brand is the now the third generation. They don't want to be a part of Checkers actually, which is a very OG legendary brand from the last 28 years in the city. Okay. And kids felt that we don't want to be a part of a brand which is not cool, and that they wanted to have a very cool brand. So Ananya, let me know if you are able to see. Okay.
Yes, yes, the screen is visible.
Yeah, perfect. So if you see Checkers as a brand, it's a very noisy place. Okay, people actually go there just for food, not for me time, I would say, or for peace, right? So kids wanted to move out from noise to pause. That's how they described it. But I think noise is a very negative as a connotation that nobody wants to pause or nobody should pause, right? But yes, should take breaks, I would say. So I wanted something that is in between noise and pause, and hence I made between the name of the brand, okay, which is between noise and pause or silence, and tweak the spelling because I think these young chaps like all things cool. So between is their name, and I've used this element of pause like this, and also made a part of W. Now, when you say that the brand is or the name is between, I also wanted the font that I explore should be in between, right? Which is not edgy, which is not curvy, but maybe both. So this is how I use the or selected the font to be, right? Then. So this is how bad the checkers logo is. But I wanted some relevance or reference of the colors that checkers had. So I used their colors, created a palette out of it, and added a new color that is blue, which is fresh, and created gradients out of these colors. And using these gradients, okay. So now these are the colors of the brand. Okay. Then I wanted the place. So these are the reference that I gave to the team to work on. That can we have also a place which is in between, right? Not completely polished or completely raw in terms of the architecture or the structure. Can we have something which is crooked or in between? So this is how we have designed or thought of the structure to be, which is work in progress. The construction has already started. And I've added the legacy so that the kids can enjoy, the third generation can enjoy. So it is between by checkers. And I cannot do about their checkers bag font. So I kept that as it is. Inserting brand elements just as a direction. This is the washroom signage. And I thought that blank would also come, so I've used a braille. It is a joke, by the way. And some soft corners for green spaces, some in-store branding space. And this is more of a direction, by the way. I'm not an architect, but yes, this is where I wanted to bridge because there are interior designs guys, also branding guys. So I'm just showing you something where interior guys and branding guys can work together and collaborate. This is how the packaging is going to be, and I've added Checkers OG hot and OG cold coffee also, so that if इनका धंधा नहीं चला, तो Checkers के नाम पे ये दो products पे at least they can do the business. And again, the menu is also a little crooked. So that's it. Some posters, some uniforms, some packaging. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. I don't know if you have questions again.
Yes, let me go through the Q&A. Yes, we have questions. Someone
Okay.
is asking, can you walk us through your deck creation and how you tailor it depending on the client slash project?
Oh, no. So again, see, there is a certain method or a pattern, I would say, that always go with a process of how you actually designed it. So there is no set template, I would say. The way you have designed it is how you should actually put the presentation out, I would say. Okay. So it should actually be tailor made, I would say. The word is used aptly. It should be all as per how you have designed. Okay. I don't
We
have
have,
to.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have another question. I don't have good formal foundational education in branding, design, and even after many years of experiences, sometimes I feel underconfident about branding works. How do we tackle this?
Hmm. After, यार फॉर्मल एजुकेशन तो मेरे पास भी नहीं है यार. I think, see, I'll tell you, the best thing that you can do is learn how to sell. बेचना अगर आता है ना तो you can do everything and anything. And I'll tell you, this is my upfront advice, suggestion, or even order या धमकी जो सोच सकते हो. If you are into design and if you don't know how to sell, first of all, you are a criminal. Second, have that acceptance that I don't know how to sell. Then get a partner on board who can actually sell for you. This is very important. Stop being or behaving like a typical artist. Always remember you are doing business. Either you are a freelancer or running a small studio. Always think like a business person. Because at the end of the day, you are doing this for money. And if you're not doing this for money, join me. Free में बहुत काम करा सकता हूँ मैं. Right? So that's my suggestion.
We have another question from Vaishnavi. What are
Yeah.
your go-to tips and tricks for better selling and pitching your work?
Oh, I think can we get her on camera to talk to me? Is it doable?
No, I don't think so. That's possible because we're in a
Acha,
webinar
acha.
setting on the
Okay.
Zoom. Yeah,
So
yeah.
so Ananya, can you become a client?
Yeah, sure. I am your client.
Okay. Who do you want to be? What kind of business do you want to?
Okay. I will pick a tough one. Like any other Gen Z girl, I'll say I want to start my clothing brand.
Clothing brand. Okay. I would not do branding for you, Ananya. But yes, what I can give you as a suggestion is that always focus on the experience of the packaging, right? I think that will make a lot of difference for you. And I think Comet is doing a fabulous job. 710. So these are, by the way, shoe brands, which I love. But again, focus on the experience, I would say, if you want to, because I feel मिठाई की दुकान खोलो तो मिठाई अच्छी होगी, right? So I'm assuming that your clothes would be amazing, but also add the oomph factor. That is, how can you add experience in your packaging? Okay.
Okay.
So see, by the way, what I did, Ananya, with you, Ishika asked this question, right?
Vaishnavi.
Vaishnavi. So Vaishnavi, by the way, what I did with Ananya, Ananya, what did you feel, by the way, when I said that I cannot work with you? Or maybe how can you describe this entire situation?
Mm. That maybe I should go look for a new business idea.
Yeah, one. And second,
Uh, that now I have to work with you.
perfect. This is what I wanted to hear. Correct? Okay. Do you want to take another example or this is okay for Vaishnavi?
Um, Reverse psychology or almost made the client sell themselves to you. Yeah, I think this works for Vaishnavi. She is happy.
Perfect. Thanks, Vaishnavi.
Next question we have is Hariharan. Could
Okay.
you give a quick overview of the tools you usually use in your branding workflow?
So we see, by the way, India is compatible with Coral. It has nothing to do with India पिछड़ा हुआ है. इंडिया का प्रिंटिंग इंडस्ट्री पिछड़ा हुआ है. इसलिए printing machines are compatible to Coral. So we work majorly on Coral because there's a lot of print stuff that is going on. But young designers like you are actually compatible or working majorly on Illustrator. So that is also okay. So for such guys, we do a specific training on to how to create print files in Coral. So the Coral is the only tool that we use. And for UI UX, we use Figma. And by the way, our website is very shitty. But I think in next 2 months, you should definitely come back to the website because I'm making a very killer website. I'm rebranding Thinking Birds completely because I hate the logo also that we have. I hate everything, by the way, of what we have as a customer facing design. It's shitty. And I think it was okay some 11 years back when we started, but now it is vomit.
Next question we have is from Jagriti. How to
Yeah.
be so honest with so much generosity with your clients? It's a follow-up question.
पर पर यार
Two.
honesty तो होना है यार. I think do you think you have any other option but to be honest? Honesty always works. I think your relationships are working for you because you are honest. People are accepting you the way you are. And I think that is what I also do with my clients, with all honesty. Matlab, if their ideas are shitty, I tell them it is shitty. If my ideas are shitty, I make them also say out loud that Bhavik, your ideas are shitty. I think that's how it works.
Next question we have is from Manish. What to do when clients reject your good design concepts and force you to design some average looking design?
Again, see, this is very subjective, Manish. That do you think your designs are really great or it's a dilemma? Point number one. So if it is that, then work on the concept really hard. Okay. Now, if you think what you said is real, right, is honest, but the clients are rejecting and your designs are not flying, that means considering that your work is fabulous, that means you are working with the wrong clients. Get the right clients.
Well, next question we have is from Kirtan. I like to design typeface. How I learn more thing.
Okay. Now, if you like to design typeface, my question to you is, and maybe let her answer also, Ananya. Uh, no, her, him, I don't know. Uh, First of all, I think there is no market for typography as of now, right? There are so many uh, agencies doing amazing paid typographies already, and so much free space available, right? For you to select free fonts. Why do you want to get into that? If it is giving you money and you think there's a huge market, you should continue. Just skip this typography angle because at least I don't see people or client coming up with, hey, I want my dedicated typography style. So you can skip this. Matlab, I'm saying because I don't see money there.
Next question we have is how do you define good branding in today's noisy digital world?
See, again, that depends on what the target audience is. How do I want to position the brand? Yeah, you see, I'll tell you, branding should never start without defining the brand's position. How do you want to navigate? How do you want to be known? Or how do you want the customer to know this brand as? So this defines not just how the brand looks, but also how the brand communicates, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, then the next question is, in your opinion, which AI model responds well to your prompts?
See, I'm not a smart guy. So I use only ChatGPT, paid,
Fair.
and but I exploit ChatGPT like anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
think ChatGPT is very moldable to your prompts.
yeah, yeah. And for mid journey, I use for a lot of renders. Like between I showed you that facade render, right? So that I've used mid journey for that.
Well, we have another question from Nitya. Would love to know how you see the future of brand design evolving in the next 5 years, and how do you measure the success of brand identity?
यार इतने महंगे क्वेश्चंस कहाँ से लाते हो यार? See, first of all, I don't know the future of brand design. Okay. But I know my future is bright because I know how to sell anything and everything in terms of designs. तो जब तक कि मैं बेच पा रहा हूँ तब तक के तो मैं ये धंधा चलाऊंगा. And I don't think I'm running an agency or I'm a creative. जो ये heavy terms होते हैं, I'm not that. I think I'm a किराने वाला selling किराने की दुकान के सारे आइटम. So I know मतलब अगर गंजा आएगा तो मेरे को तेल बेचना है और भूखा आएगा तो खाना बेचना है. So I think I function like that. I'm not as polished as you think I am.
Let me just check the chat box if there are any more questions. Yeah, no, we are done with the questions. Yeah, I think we're done. Maybe if you can come on camera once and
Oh,
yeah.
I can.
Yes, thank you so much, Bhavik. I had a great time. Actually, I did have a question of my own.
Yeah,
It
tell
is
me,
an
please. Happy
interesting
to answer.
one we ask all our speakers to answer is if you were to redesign anything, it could be as small as a safety pin or something as big as like the Delhi Metro. What would that be and why?
So if you ask me if I have to design Delhi Metro, right?
Anything, it can be
Yeah,
anything if
I'm
you were
just
to
giving you an
redesign.
example
Yeah,
of Delhi Metro. I would dive deeper into the concept of, because it's a public utility vehicle, right?
yeah.
Or commute. So I would bind the entire city in terms of the design language. So how people feel of metro is what I would do as a survey with every age group and put those emotions out in terms of branding. That's it. Matlab, keep life easy, simple. Now, if you have such kind of branding, I think people would relate, connect more. It becomes shareable more. Bas, matlab again, see Ananya, don't ask me tough questions. Don't think I'm a educated guy.
No, that is a good answer.
अरे
Okay.
एक क्वेश्चन हो रहा है ए
Uh,
यार जागृति पैसे लगेंगे अभी ओह नहीं सॉरी कुछ और लिखा है इसमें कैन यू रीड आउट
not a question, but some absolute bangers by Bhavik. Create not for your customer, but for your customer's customer. Second is I am directing AI to do projects for me. Third is learn how to sell. Fourth, take opinions from your office boy, your family, and anyone around. Five, never work for peanuts.
awesome
Yeah,
wow I
you.
never felt so good about myself thanks जागृति
Yeah. Well, thank you for this killer session, as Jagriti points out. Well, see you. Thank you.
thank you guys all the best
Thank you.
Bye.